Have you ever stopped in the middle of an airport line, right after placing your bag on that metal roller, and wondered, wait, what if the one thing inside my bag, the thing I barely even think about, is actually the reason TSA would pull me aside? Like, imagine you're standing there, you hear the belt humming. Your bag slides into that glowing scanner tunnel, and for just 1 second, your stomach kind of drops because you remember something you don't even know what exactly, but something, and suddenly the idea flashes in your mind that maybe, just maybe, airports today aren't looking for what you think anymore. They're looking for something much stranger, way more surprising, and way easier to overlook. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. Not travel YouTubers, not airline blogs, not even those airport FAQ pages that pretend they're giving you the real scoop. Because rather than some obvious item like liquids, or chargers, or batteries, the thing airport security actually flags the most in 2025 and moving into 2026 is something travelers don't even see as a thing. It's not physical, it's not metal, it's not dangerous, but it triggers scanners, harder than almost anything else, and it sits inside almost every bag on Earth. And the weirdest part is that airports don't publicly explain it. They kind of can't, because the real reason behind it ties into a massive shift happening at airports worldwide. A shift the average traveler has absolutely no clue is already underway. So think about this. Why are some people, even those who travel all the time, suddenly being pulled for those random secondary checks way more often? Why did their bags get rescanned for no clear reason? Why do TSA officers sometimes ask oddly personal questions that don't seem related to the items in your luggage at all? And why do some people, maybe you've noticed this too, breeze straight through security with the exact same items that made someone else get flagged? It feels almost unpredictable, almost unfair. But the truth is chillingly simple. Airport scanners in 2026 aren't just scanning objects anymore. They're scanning patterns. And one pattern in particular has become the #1 red flag. Worldwide, so powerful that even the most harmless traveler can get stopped over it, without ever realizing what they've done wrong. This pattern begins with a single, invisible thing inside your bag. And here's where it gets bizarre. You didn't buy it. You didn't pack it. You didn't place it in your bag. You created it.
Bro.
And it follows you everywhere you travel. One thing you must remove from your bag now, before you step into another airport. Before you go through another scanner, before another officer gives you that look is digital noise. Wait, let me explain. Because at first, that sounds ridiculous, maybe even made up. But it's actually one of the biggest behind-the-scenes changes happening in airport security right now. And if you've flown recently, you've already seen pieces of it without realizing. Every device you carry, your phone, tablet, laptop, smartwatch, power bank, Bluetooth earbuds, even your luggage tracker creates a kind of digital fingerprint when they're all packed tightly together inside your bag. It's like a cluster of signals, tiny bursts of information. Pings, background data attempts, offline handshake patterns, even corrupted Bluetooth negotiations. And here's the twist. The new multispectrum CT scanners airports use now don't just scan physical shapes, they pick up electromagnetic behavior inside your bag. Meaning a messy cluster of devices doesn't just look messy, they look suspicious. The scanner doesn't see, oh okay, that's a phone, that's a charger, that's a pair of earbuds. See something else. Noise, friction, conflicting signals. A blob of overlapping digital signatures that don't make sense to the machine. And the machine doesn't like things that don't make sense. In airport security language, they call it density of anomaly. It's not dangerous, it's not illegal, but it's confusing. And confusing almost always equals secondary screening. That's why you notice officers sometimes tilting their heads when they stare at the monitor. It's not because of what's in your bag, but because of how the items in your bag behave together. And this right here, this invisible digital chaos, is the single biggest trigger that pulls everyday travelers aside. It's not liquids, not batteries. It's not even the weird random stuff people forget they packed. It's the digital noise that builds when everything is smashed into one compartment. And the crazy thing is, airport officers know this. Scanners detect this. The security system flags it automatically. but almost nobody outside the industry has ever explained it in a way normal travelers can understand. That's why you see signs that say, "Remove electronics." But they never explain the real reason. It's not about seeing the electronics clearly, it's about reducing the noise the machines want. What new scanners expect is separation, breathing room, logical spacing. Something that tells the algorithms, hey, this traveler is normal. Everything is behaving normally. Nothing strange is generating weird electronic signals inside this bag. But here's where it gets even more interesting. In the last year, researchers who designed scanning technology discovered something weird about travelers. The way you arrange your electronics actually tells scanners more about your behavior than the items themselves. Like if your cables are tightly knotted and wrapped around your power bank, the system flags that as compressed signal mass. If your earbuds, keys, and watch are all pressed under your laptop, scanners sometimes interpret that as partial shielding. Even something as innocent as placing two devices back to back can create a signal wall the scanners classify as an information dead zone. And when the machine can't see, it doesn't ask questions, it alerts an officer. And that's when the bag comes out. The scanner stops. The belt pauses for that awkward 2 seconds. An officer lifts your bag, presses a button, and you know what happens next? But this whole situation has a quiet solution, almost no traveler. Use but airports wish everyone did. Remove the one thing that creates all this chaos. Remove the digital noise. Not by leaving your devices at home, not by buying special organizers, not by turning anything off, but by doing something so simple, it almost seems too good to be true. Just separate your electronics physically. A little distance dissolves the chaos. You create signal clarity. And your bag becomes, in scanner terms, low anomaly density, which is exactly what lets people breeze through security without ever thinking about it. But here's where this gets even more fascinating. Removing digital noise also removes something else the scanners detect: stress patterns. And yes, that sounds absurd, but it's real. Here's how it works. Whenever you're stressed running, late, sweating in line, worried about something, your devices often reflect that stress. You grip them tighter, you pack them sloppier, you shove everything into one pocket of your bag, forget how things are arranged. And scanners actually recognize the signature of rushed packing. They see clutter, compression, odd angles, illogical placement. These patterns combine to form what security experts call behavioral layout indicators, which again, without anyone telling passengers, have become a major factor in selecting bags for secondary screening. They're the one thing you must remove from your bag isn't an object at all, it's the invisible chaos that forms when we travel stressed. It's rushed, disorganized, unaware of how scanners now interpret the inside of our bags. And removing it is incredibly simple. You slow down for 20 seconds and pack your electronics separate from each other. It's just a little. One device in each pocket. Spread out, not stacked, not tangled, not pressed together. This is the travel hack nobody on YouTube talks about, because honestly, nobody outside airport tech labs even knew this until recently. But it's real. And if you remove this invisible clutter, this digital noise, not only do you glide through airports faster, but you also avoid being flagged by the most advanced scanners airports have ever used. And maybe the wildest thing of all is this. Security officers can usually tell which travelers already know this trick, because their bags glide through the machine like clean data, clear, organized, quiet, and that's the whole secret. Not a banned item, not a dangerous object, not something illegal. It's just noise. And once you remove it, everything changes. Your travel becomes smoother. Your bag becomes transparent. Airports stop treating you like a mystery. So the next time you're packing for a flight, remember this moment. Airports aren't looking for what you carry, they're looking for how your bag behaves. And the one thing you must remove from your bag now is the chaos you didn't even know was there.